Right, I think we are live. I think we're live. If you can hear me, drop a question or drop just a comment down below. Let me know if you're here. 1 second. Drop your questions down below. So this is part of a live that I do right now I'm doing every single day, supporting you guys in your Amazon business. So if you're here, drop it down below. I have come prepared with a coffee. Absolutely love coffee. Bless you. So guys, let me give you an update on my Amazon business. What is going on? That is going to be a very, very important point. So give me 2 seconds. Let me load up and show you where I am. I've been doing some work on the repricing. We're still getting there. We're still kind of figuring it out. Like doing wrong. Obviously, we've been repricing. Sales are doing pretty well, pretty steady. I'll give you the last 7 days UK graph there. You can see that that's 65.27. That is 17%. And if anyone like, oh my God, that doesn't really exist, okay, refresh. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. Let me know how your business is going. I'll also give you an update on the USA if I have it. Let me just see if my ops manager has shared the numbers. I'm not really too sure. No, I'm not seeing them. 1 second. Hey, any chance you can share the USA numbers? Let's do that. Oh, I did have the best one today. Someone messaged me. So basically, in the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy, there's one thing that I said. I'm a big believer. If you've got VAs, by the way, and I've got a lot of VAs because I've built 2 companies, 3 actually, and I always say cameras on. If you're building a remote virtual team, you need cameras on. Let's have a quick look through these cameras on. And this person came back to me. And what did they say? And I messaged them afterwards. I was like, hey, did you enjoy the call? Fantastic. And they said to me, yeah, it was great. And I said, top tip, turn your camera on. And they messaged me today, which I have it here. And I'll share it. It says, I can't believe what a difference having a camera has on the conversation. Like there is way more of a connection there. This is obviously speaking to staff and said, yeah, have you just tried it? And they said, yeah, with my senior manager, she said she hasn't seen me in years. So top tip for you guys, if you've got staff, turn your cameras on. Cannot do that enough. Got a couple of questions coming in straight. Guys, if you are on the Instagram, I do see you. I will turn it on my phone as well. But I know Mr. Claxon, oh, 1 second. He mentioned, is that 8K today? I don't know, let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's about 8K. You can see, if I kind of get a bit closer, you can probably see that little line is 9.99K. Yeah, so yeah, it's like 8K so far, and obviously got a bit of the day, so we'll probably hit 10K for the day. But it's okay. Look, by the way, we're only like 20% up on the week last week. We're still down on last year. Last year we were smashing this. Guys, if you're on Instagram, do let me know. So Mr. Clapson, yeah, that is 8K today. We've definitely done 8K, but we need to. We're just still like kind of sorting stuff out. Like, my God, Amazon's like there's so much going on. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to make sure I can see everyone on the Instagram. If you're on Instagram, I can see it. Drop your questions down below. So Hamda, sorry, getting it right there. Obviously, if you're here, Gulam just joined on Instagram. John Skies, Daniel Bunk, and 2 more. Got some biscuits and coffee. Get rid of that. So thank you so much for information. No, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Obviously, it's Friday. It's very late for you guys. For me, still in the Amazon game. I've been doing some work on repricing. Not repricing, really about reporting around pricing. Very important. Change the numbers, measure the difference. Mr. Sean Gilbert, aka Massive Action, has come in with questions. Switching over STTA, got nearly 4,000 ASINs to edit. In cost of goods and editing that. VAs don't work weekends, going to take ages. Ooh, I'm sure you can do some kind of V lookup. You must have a spreadsheet somewhere with your cost of goods already, or you might be able to download it from Profit Protector Pro I used before, and then obviously just kind of copy it across. Find someone good at, if you can download it from the old one, like it has it on there on any Excel spreadsheet, find someone good at what do you call it? Google spreadsheets, and you'll be fine. Do that, honestly, trust me, do that. Stella FBA on the gram has said, hi Tom. Hi Stella, I can see you. If anyone is on Instagram, do say hi. Honestly, I am here. I can see you. Honestly, you've got questions, drop it down below. Johnny, loving it. You're looking warm in the sun. I like that. I'm looking warm in my apartment. Really hot in Mexico City. My apartment hits the sun. How's it going? It's good. I'm getting hot. Like hot. Wearing these headphones gets me hot as well. But my Amazon business is good. It's Q4. We love that. We're making money. We're always making money. But we're making more money, which is good, and I hope you guys are as well. First time catching a live, so can I ask a question now? Sure, fire away. Honestly, Johnny's, fire away. If you do it now, there's less people on the live, and I generally answer quicker. Later on, I generally do about an hour. They start getting a bit more like busy. So do put your questions in. Big shout out to Stella FBA again, just saying hi there. Stella, let me know if you've got any questions. Anyone on Instagram, drop your questions down below. I can see you. I am watching. I'm listening. Danny Sorato has joined as well. So there. Johnny's, do ask your questions down below. Hamda, get it right, Tom. Sorry. I opened my Central Essential account last week, and I'm ready to start sourcing next week, retail arbitrage. I'll tell you what, don't stop on the weekends. I get it. You've opened it today. Start sourcing this weekend. Like, it's open. Start going. Please do like okay, pretty sure it's Friday. If you're in the UK, it's going to be a bit late, but just start doing it. Like, honestly, like, don't wait. Start doing it. I cannot stress that now. Like, I've seen it too many times. Like, too many people are, oh yeah, I'll do it next week. Like, no man, the money's being made now. Trust me, this is 2 days, and like, this is 2 days of the best time ever in the history of the year to be sourcing is right now. The more you can source right now, is going to be the more money you make in Q4. And Q4 is the busiest time, like literally the busiest time. So get sourcing, get out there, get scanning. If you're doing online arbitrage, get practicing, get refining. It's going to help. You know, online arbitrage, do it now. Start on the computer. Retail arbitrage, get out there, start finding stuff. Trust me, do it now. Do it stop. You're like, the success of you and this business is about your ability to execute straight away. No excuses. Take Mr. Massive Action, for example. He takes massive action, and I met him. Sean Gilbert doing really well. I'm trying to find it from Sellerboard. Yeah, you can. Sellerboard might let you download it as a CSV file. If you want to know, Mr. Massive Action is moving reprices, changing repricer, and you could definitely download I think you should be able to download a CSV file from, and it'll tell you the cost of goods already, or maybe some kind of report where it has that in one column, and then you can copy it across. So any tips on what repricing you're doing? I've yet to do that too with SKDA. Yeah, look, long story short, and I talked about repricing. If anyone's doing like arbitrage, wholesale, private label's a bit different. But if you are doing them, do just literally, you know, it's your min maxes, that's it. There's something called price guard. I don't really like it. It will go outside your min maxes, so I don't do that. I always do my min maxes off ROI, not margin. Don't do both. Do one or the other, but don't do margin or do ROI. Don't do both because you're just being silly. Make sure you put your cost of goods in there. And then the one I do like, especially with SDKs, it has automation. So like I would take advantage of that, like put it all into one, and then after 30 days, move it to another automation where maybe you change the rules slightly. So I really like that functionality, and that just really helps us manage it. So automations are absolutely key. We always use it. So yeah, ROI or margin, don't do both. Cost of goods in, don't use price guard. I don't like it personally. And then yeah, use the automations. That was it. Set out. It's really good. Mr. Clapson, okay, here's a question for you. Right, let's get ready. Come on, people. Oh, it actually really hurts. I'm going to try to do some weights. How do you get a list of all your ASINs in your inventory and the total number of sellers on each ASIN? Ideally, a daily report would be good. Really good question. I'll tell you the one. We have ways of doing it ourselves, but they're not very easy. So I'll try and give you an easy way, which might be helpful. Number one, download an ASIN report from Amazon inventory. So just download your restock report. It'll tell you what you've got in inventory. Yeah, do it in the ASIN inventory. So download the restock report, and it'll tell you the ASINs, and it'll tell you what your stock count is. Then I just remove anything we got zero stock, take them and then run it through the keeper data tab. Don't quote me, but like one of the tabs in data, you can upload it. And then basically it will just pull back all the data and tell you like how many sellers were on each one. So you can look up, you know, the keeper data for those ASINs. That'd be the way I'd do it. We can do it because we have API access and we kind of collect the data in the background, but Keeper will do it for you. And I think that's a quick way to do it. So yeah, you can definitely do that. And then maybe if you do it every day, you can start to see which ASINs are, in changing how many ASINs they've collected or how many new sellers they've counted. So I hope that makes sense. Mr. Clapson, me, you, Sean, and Luke were sat at a table in the Sunday pub about 4 years ago. Yeah, I remember. Hey, honestly, doing a really good job. I love it. Honestly, doing a good job. Keep it up. Keep smashing it. Honestly, keep going. Right. Yeah. My God, you don't have Keeper? Man, like I can understand if you don't have Keeper and you've been doing Amazon for about 3 months, maybe I understand. But longer than that, you should have Keeper. Come on, it's like $15 a month. It's nothing. You should definitely do that. Buy Keeper, guys. If you're on Instagram, do drop me a message. I am here. I'm watching. I'm listening. I can see you on the gram. I am answering your questions. Let's kind of go through. So Johnny's is coming. I love it. You're not that bad, but sorry. Maybe too much coffee. It is my third coffee this afternoon. I had a lot this morning. I'm doing roughly to 8-9K a month, and I'm thinking I need a VA now for January. Is your academy still open? Yeah. Down here, fasttrackfba.com/VA Academy. I would just go have a look now. Like if you're interested, you can see about the offer and what it is. You can even, if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you can get you can book a free consultation call with my team. So it might just be worth, if you've got questions, you can book in a free consultation call. fasttrackfba.com/VA. If you're maybe on Instagram or something right now and you want to look, you can do link in the bio. You can see virtual assistants. So you can see that. Now, long story short is, what is the offer? So in the US, it's like, I'll tell you the US and UK, but it's the same offer. Basically, we'll find, hire, and train a virtual assistant for you. We'll run them through our training, which is the training we've done for over 550 VAs, and that's for 300 clients. So people have come back and had 8 VAs from us, really good. And then number 2 is the fact that only if they sign off will we pass them to you. So they have to meet a strict criteria. Then we support you for the next 12 weeks with your VA. So my team are watching, seeing the results. If you've got any problems at all, they will literally, she said they'll literally jump, you can just send them a message and say, hey guys, like I'm a bit worried about the keeper training, or maybe they're sending me some deals I'm a bit worried about. You literally tell us that, and then we can straight away jump in, and my team will jump in on a live call, one-to-one with your VA, support them. And if you're not happy, or if the VA quits, you can ask for a replacement, or we can get a replacement for you. That's absolutely fine. Or if you're still not happy after 3 months, you can get your money back, 100% guaranteed, no questions asked. Done. And by the way, in addition to that, you have a weekly live support call with my head of HR. She knows everything we do within our business. She can teach you everything that we do, and you have all my SOPs and all my guidance. It really, really helps. So Johnny, just check that out, fasttrackfba.com/VA. In the UK, it's £847. In the US, it's $997, and it's a one-time fee, and you're paying about $500 a month to the VA in salary costs. And we'll support you throughout the whole first 3 months. And after that, your VA will be smashing it. Trust me, they really, really do. Let's kind of jump through. Got a couple of questions coming on Instagram, and I think it's probably about this. Gavik has said, is that for OA? Hey, Gavik, by the way. And yeah, that is for OA. And then Gavik's kind of mentioned something, it's not showing up on this one. What's the best way to source deals without the previously mentioned popular paid software add-ins? Well, I don't know how you'd, by the way, if you have like SaaS, for example, if you have like SaaS or a lot of these sourcing tools, they all have, and by the way, this is on Instagram, so the best way to source, they all have Keeper-like graphs. I mean, we have them in our Amazon business. Basically, we just take the Keeper data and convert it into a graph, same as Keeper does. So you can do that, but I do think Keeper's worth it. I mean, if you're doing any more than like, 5,000 a month, you should probably at least be buying Keeper. I think it's worth it because it's going to really help make sure you're doing good buys. That's a really important point. So definitely do that. What else have we got here? Yeah, so Gavik, let me know if that answered, and that's for OA. Yeah, Keeper 100%. You'd be doing SaaS, we really like. They have Keeper-like graphs, and then definitely use that. But you don't have to have Keeper. And by the way, if you want to know our VAs, the Fast Track VA Academy, they're trained in all the Keeper, all the SaaS. We can train them in SaaS, FBA Multi-Tool, Rev Seller, Ace and Zen, or Buybot Pro. It's completely up to you. We can train them, so we do that. And we teach them Keeper and everything. So we know what we're doing, and we've got a massive training team to really support you. So let's kind of go through TMJ Woodworks. Oi, oi, nearly missed this YouTube notification today. I know. Oh, no. Make sure you turn on the notifications. Got to do it. You can do it on Instagram Live or join the Facebook. I don't really know. Like, I kind of go everywhere. But yeah, definitely join. Are you doing the same time every day? I think, yeah, I'm trying to do it I'm just trying to do it whereby I get a lot of people who kind of join and I can add value. And I think this is quite a good time. I know a lot of other groups do like 7 p.m. in the UK. 9 p.m. is quite late. I appreciate that. Not everyone might want to do it, but we seem to get quite a lot of interaction. But also at this time, we also hit a lot of the American market. So people are sellers in the US, and obviously I'm in Mexico, so I'm Central Time, and it works really well for me. So yeah, I'll probably keep doing it this time, see how it goes. But if I have audience who have a certain thing for like one marketplace, I'll probably do that as well. So let me know if this is working and you like the time. That'd be great. I think I'm probably going to do them around this time. I think it kind of works out well. I think before I was doing the lives at a random time, and what was happening was just like I was like, why am I going live? I'm here to help you guys, and I enjoy it. I think it's really good fun to connect with people. But I think number two is the fact that if I'm just doing it randomly, I'm missing a lot of opportunities. So you know what, time boxing, put it in my time box, put it in my calendar, make it happen. JFDI, just beep, do it. And right, I hear it is Q4, and any shipments it will send them will take more than it will take more than it used to take to get FBA instead of FBA. Please let me know. Long story short, if you're doing FBA, you can still ship in now. Absolutely fine. We're still shipping FBA, and right up until probably the 12th. We'll still continue to ship in after the 12th, all the way through the whole of December. But we're only shipping Christmas stock, i.e., stock which needs to be sold before Christmas Day. We'll ship that in up to about the 12th, maybe like the 9th. So long as you're getting your FBA shipments in before the 9th, I think you'd generally be okay. I think you'd be fine, depending on Amazon, but I think you'd be pretty much all right. So if you're doing FBA and you want to ship it now, do it now. Get it done now. So Hamda, get out there, get sourcing. T-Claps and Damn don't have keep it yet. You do need to pay. Get it done. You could probably share it with someone else. They officially allow 2 per license. We might have like 22 per license, but didn't hear that at all. But they do detect, by the way. We keep getting the messages. You're using too many on your keeper license. Can't do it. Guys, if you're on Instagram, let me know. I am watching you. Instagram, I can see you. Instagram people here. Let's go through. How many minimum sales do you have to see before you decide to leave a listing? Is 20 sales? My God, I'd even go down to like 3. I'd go down to 3 sales a month. If I'm making $100 per sale, £100 per sale, no competition, and it's a nice little product and just churns over, I'd do that. Absolutely fine, no problem. I was doing the analysis today. There's some products we're buying for $600. $600 for a product. It's like, wow. I don't think the ROI was great. It was like 23% or something in the US, which isn't great. But by the way, $600 at 23%, $200 profit on one product. That's happy. Rue Beckham and Fraz FBA and Mohammed Rafiq has joined. Just want to say hi on Instagram. Drop your questions down below. So who have we got now? So how many minimum sales do you? It's like minimum sales. Like I really don't mind. Again, even if it was doing 30 sales a month and I was going to make half a cent or half a pound profit, 50p profit, I probably wouldn't do it because it's just not worth the time. 30 sales at like 50p, 50 cents is what, $15 profit per month, and I'm like, that's not really worth my time. But 2 sales at $100 profit. So I would probably use a calculation of sales a month multiplied by the estimated profit that I would make, not the listing, but I would make. And if that's high enough, then I'd be like, fine, like I'd be there. Fizzy Jizzy, let me know if that helps out. If anyone is on Instagram, I am Bing77 has just joined. Do drop your questions down below. I will answer them. Terry Claxton, BBP has everything I need for that, but this total sales report might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. No, I know. I understand your point, but I do think I generally believe Keeper is probably like one of those tools you've got to have. I think what don't they have? So BuyBot Pro, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have is Amazon sharing the buy box. That's something we look at. What's the other one? It's either like you can hover over the little Amazon icon. It doesn't do that. It has new seller count. I think there's some other little things that maybe I noticed. It's not the end of the world, but like if you want to get into the detail, it certainly really helps out. Saurish1, hey, good to see you on Instagram. Let me know if you're any questions. Daniel Bakeman, I'll come on to your question now. So Terry, I hope that makes a question. Yeah, do get Keeper. I think it's really good. Daniel Bakeman on Instagram. What if I have my own VA? Can you train her? Guys, if you're thinking about the VA Academy, Fast Track VA, unfortunately, we don't train other people's VAs. We only train the VAs that we find. Why? When we first started, we used to train other people's VAs. We had a slight problem that they just like, not saying the current people now, but the people when we first did it, the VAs were really, really like, they just didn't really understand, or they were like, they didn't really want it. And as a result, it was a problem with hiring. Like, it doesn't matter if you do the best training in the world, if you hire the wrong people, it's never going to work. And what we understood was that, a lot of the clients who we'd hired, if you say we'd train their VAs, they were just not good. Like, unfortunately, the VAs weren't great. And when we did it, like, it caused massive a lot of work. And then in addition to that, what happened was that those VAs would quit, and then they would come back for a refund off us, so we wouldn't get paid anything. And obviously, as much as I like to add value, I want to get paid. So unfortunately, we just made the decision to say, look, we don't train other people VAs. We only train the VAs we find, because we know that they're a good person. We have a really strict recruitment process and training policy. And then we can, if we're not happy with that VA, we can say, sorry, we're not even going to give you the VA. We're going to get a new one. And we do that a lot. I'd probably say maybe once a week, one of the VAs that we've recruited, we don't see good enough performance in the training. So we say, no, sorry. Daniel Bakemate on Instagram, let me know. And Saurish1, Hi, good to see you as well. I'm super excited. Nomad, I'm a Nomad, that's great. How much does a VA cost? I think I answered that earlier on, but do check it out, fasttrackfba.com/VA. You can see all the details in there and you can book in a call as well. It's a one-time fee for us, and if you're looking for the fees for the VA itself, the monthly fee for them, we recommend it costs about £400 a month payroll for that VA, and that's for 40 hours a week. And in the US, it'd be like $500. So not too bad. So really, really good thing. Julie Effer has joined. Julie Effer, can I just say your ability to join my lives is incredible. Thank you so much. Loving the and Taya 1942. Thank you so much. Guess what, everyone? Find Hot Girls Here has just joined. Definitely not spam. Does anyone actually ever click those links? Really? Like really? I won't quote anymore, but it's quite funny. Right, it's going to go through our nature perspective. I just got offered an investor to get 10K on a 5% return to my investor every month on my total investment. Is that good advice to take? It's good experience in sourcing as a VA. But if you're doing a 5% return every month, if an investor wants to give you money to return 5% every month, what's 5 times 12? That's 60. That's 60% ROI you're paying on that asset, on that thing. So you're going to take a £10,000 loan right now, but what you are going to do is repay £16,000 in a year's time. I would say it's a really bad. Amazon do about 12% over the year. So I take a £10,000 loan, I repay 11,200. So that, and like, by the way, that's a bit higher than normal, but Amazon provide it, so it's pretty decent. But yeah, I possibly wouldn't think that's a good idea. Like I wouldn't do that. I think that's too high, 5% a month. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I don't think that's a good investment. Taj, hi, and I'm Bing77, hi as well. Let me know if you've got questions on Instagram. I am watching. I can see if anyone's, it's me on Instagram. Woo! It's me watching me watching me. We'll see that one when it comes through. Right, let's keep going through. Facebook user, this time is great, Tom. I think you're always very helpful with advice. Cool. Honestly, I'm glad I can help you guys. Yeah, honestly, if you ask me great questions, I'll do it. I do this obviously every week. I do it with the Seller Academy. That's our private group. But I do it in a kind of like like a Google Meet format, so they're live on the call, and we go around and ask very specific questions. And I'm literally like, go here in the course, or go here, look at this, speak to this person, or like I'll connect you with this person and do it. So I really like them. I think they're quite cool. It's nice to give back, and also as well, the one like I was saying it to a good friend of mine yesterday. I said, look, I'm also learning so much about you, like what your problems are and what you're struggling with. And I think as a service company, we're supposed to know what our customers' problems are, and it's really nice. So my team obviously connect. I see a lot of reports, a lot of data, but also as well, like I quite enjoy this. It's quite nice to connect. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to kind of jump over to some Instagram questions that people have come in. So Julie Effer says, "Hi Thomas, it's always a great pleasure to be able to follow your lives. Just want to say thank you. Honestly, you give out so much helpful advice. Cool. Honestly, thank you so much for the feedback. It makes it worthwhile. Honestly, really good. I do 5 hours a week on YouTube Lives at the moment. That's more time than I spend on my Amazon business. I'm part-time Tom. Taya, I don't know if I'm getting that right. How many deals VA is supposed to source for you per day or per week? So really good question. In the VA Academy, Fast Track FBA, VA Academy 2.0, that's up here. If you're looking at deals per day, we do the majority of the people will buy the should we say like the package whereby the VA is like we find, hire, and train them, and then they'll go through a 3-month training program with you on site. It's cheaper. Like you can buy the fully trained ones. We don't have any at the moment. They're about £5,000, really expensive, but you can do it for £1,000, which or £847 or $1,000, which is going to be the one where they train up through you. So it works out really well. And what we say is a metrics of success that we look for, and I think this is a really important point, is month one is going to be 2 to 5 deals per day that you can buy. And it's going to be that you buy, not the 2 to 5 deals per day that you get given that you're like, and you don't buy any, but it'll be on average, you get 2 to 5 deals per day that you buy. So some days you might get a bit more, some days you get a bit less. So that's the way it works. And then the other one is, so month 1 is 2 to 5, month 2 is 5 to 8, month 3 we change from, really it's about 8 to 10, but we change from deals that you can buy to spend. Spend's what you really want to focus on. Why? Because if you guys have obviously been sourcing, you know about deals, is that there's no point me finding you 10 deals from a supplier where you can only buy 1 each. That's just pointless. Like you'd much rather have 5 deals, but you can go buy 100 of them and they're fast selling, you'd be much happier, but your spend would increase. So again, because our job is to take the money and convert it into stock, not have loads of money in the bank with lots of ones, items of stock where it's 1. So I hope that kind of makes sense. 2 to 5, month 1, month 2, 5 to 8, month 3, 1,333 spent per week in pounds, or 1,500 per week in US dollars spent. That's the target success, and it works really well. Like, it really works well. And by the way, that's just getting started. We double that in a couple of months and double it again. Like right now, my staff are spending probably close to 5,000 a week on stock, £5,000 or 6,000 a week on stock. Like, kind of put that in perspective. I don't know about you guys, but having 6,000 a week per VA after 6 months, it's got a lot of cash. That's 24,000 a week, a month you've got to spend. By the way, that's if your VA is doing a really good job, and if you give them the money and incentives, which we could teach you, that works really, really well. So if you're interested, I shouldn't have the Seller Academy on. Let me change it. I'm going to get it right. And it's going to be this one. Get it right, Tom. VA Academy 2.0, fasttrackfba.com/VA. Voila, thank you very much. It's going to go through. Daniel Bakerman, how is it easy to get a Payoneer loan? I couldn't really tell you. I think it's quite easy. Just apply. That's it. Just apply. I think they're happy to give money as long as you hit the things. Terry, what are the top 2 things you've learned this year with regards to moving and leveling up in your UK business? I think it's a really good question, by the way. And there's one thing that I'm always kind of playing about. So I'm listening to a lot of Alex Hormozy at the moment. I'm really following, by the way, I go to his YouTube channel, then I go to his playlist, and then he's got like a playlist called How to Grow a Business, and 60 videos. So I watch them because I always find that the people who I do YouTube content. Some of my YouTube content is a bit more like kind of like, hey, let's get audience. Some of it's really good quality content. You probably say like the Keeper stuff is amazing. Some of it is like, oh, someone's been done by the FTC. Probably isn't so much that you need to watch. Like, it's more kind of like social media side. So I like watching that. And the one thing that he really talks about, which I really believe in as well, is like, you need to get your business operating to a point whereby you are not the owner or the operator. And the classic one he talked about was you might be making profit in your company, but what you're doing is you are doing a lot of the high level work. Yes, you've got VAs doing it, but you'll think of the high level comes, and really, if you think about it, if you were to get out of that company, how much would it cost to replace you with that high level work? And most of the time, us as entrepreneurs, we're doing 1, 2, maybe 3 jobs. And to hire the level of skill set we need and pay a decent wage, that business might not be actually profitable anymore. So then you're really saying, like, is this a good business that I'm running? And I think that's a really good point. So the one thing which I'm really making about, and the top 2 things I'm learning, is number one, really systematizing my business massively. And don't get me wrong, I think I do it really well. 2 7-figure businesses, but systematize, and then processes defining it. And then number 2 is about measures, because measures show you where your processes can be improved. So we do so much reporting, but reporting which takes 30 minutes a week, we can clearly track it and do it, and hence why I built the Seller Academy. So I have nothing against people who want to build this as a job. That's absolutely fine. Nothing against people who don't want to hire VAs. I think it's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. But for me personally, is I want to build a business which generates cash flow. We make 5 figures a month now. I want to maybe even get that to 6 figures a month. I'd be quite happy. And then the idea is that I'm running that, and it's still growing on 5 hours a week. If I can do 5 hours a week and 6 figures a month profit, I'd be really happy. And again, that is measures, because that's about maximizing leverage. And we teach it in the Seller Academy, which is how to use other people's time, money, knowledge, and networks. And then the other one is about, she says that's measuring the effect of those leverages. And then number 2 is about building processes so that people can do it without you, and it continues to grow. And they're very efficient. So really, really good question. But that's where I want to go. That's a big point. Julie Effer mentioned on Instagram, what are the biggest mistakes you've made at the beginning of your journey, and what advice would you have not to do if you ever started about this? So prior to my starting, so basically biggest mistakes at the beginning of my journey, prior to starting in Amazon, I used to be a manager, and also I'd like to think I'm reasonably good at managing staff within reason. But I hired VAs straight away once I figured out you could hire from people in the Philippines for like a fraction of what you pay in the US and the UK. And long story short was that they were doing work, but I didn't really understand what measures I needed to measure them against. So a minute ago, I just talked about the VA Academy, and we measure deals per day that you can buy. And then what we do is we then measure spend. And if I give you a good example, what if you just measure number of deals submitted? Well, if your VA is submitting 20 deals every day, but you don't actually buy any of them, well, that's not helpful to your business. So what we do within our business is, well, one thing I did wrong was I was doing that. I was measuring like number of deals per day my VA was giving me. And I didn't really measure, number one, how many we spent, how many we bought, number two, how much we spent, and then number three, how much profit they generated at forecast and at actual once they sold. And the net result is, once we started really doing the analytics into this, I had 3 VAs, so I thought I need 3, like, as you do, you just got money, you spend it, you got credit cards, and I lost money. In my first year of business, I lost money. I think I was about 15,000 down. We did 6 figures, but I lost money. And it wasn't, it wasn't a good place. So I think, and the reason why we built the VA Academy is because I realized that problem, and then we fixed it, and we fixed it so well and continued to grow the business. The other people started to see what I did and like, Tommy, chance you can hire me a VA, and that's where we started the VA Academy. And that was like 3-4 years ago. But yeah, it was really interesting. So I think the real measure or thing is understanding what to track in your business is so key. Like, we all know we should be buying stock and selling it, but if you're not buying the right stock, and if you're buying with the wrong amounts, or you're not shifting it in time, like the amount of people I've met whereby they've got years worth of stock in Amazon right now, and I'm like, just sell it, and they're like, but I don't want to take a loss. I'm like, it's dead. It's dead stock. You're just joking to yourself. But again, knowing what to measure. At the end of the day, business is a system. It's a process. You put effort in, which is people and money, and then you get a result out. And your job is to make that engine run as efficiently as possible. That's it. And that's it. Just measures and how you do a system. That's all business is. It's so boring and simple. But you're trying to refine, make that engine run faster and better all the time. Hope that makes sense. A really good question, Judy Effer and Mr. Clapson. So to massive action. What do you think to doing branded listings? I've got a VA from you doing a minimum 1 listing day as we make the listings unique on Amazon, going branded with unique ideas. I think if you're doing unique listings, which yours, and you're doing all the work on it, absolutely fine. I'd have no problem with that. I think if you're taking Lego and putting them under Tom's brand, I'd be a bit like, that's not a bit questionable. But hey, you know what? Like, people are going to scold me for this. At the end of the day, Amazon isn't saying you can't do it, as far as I'm aware. Don't quote me. They're not saying you can't do it. And it isn't like, if you go and take Lego and put it under Tom's brand, I'm not saying you should do it. I'm not saying it's ethically right. But if you're looking to make a business, that might be your moat. Warren Buffett talks about it. And if, by the way, it's technically not wrong, but Amazon has a system whereby it can work. And then I think the other one to think about is the fact that, if you've created that listing and done it, it could work. Like, it could be your thing. I'm not saying it's ethically right, but like, people do it. And like, you could say, like, is it, by the way, what do we all do? We buy low from Walmart, Argos, and resell on Amazon. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there right now thinking what we do is ethically, immoral. And how dare you buy something and sell it for more money? Like, it all depends on the person you're talking to. So I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't do it, but it makes money, and if that's what you're trying to go for, then maybe. But like, for me, no, it's not something that I'm interested in. But I don't think Amazon's going to shut down the account. They don't do it for doing it right now. Interesting. I've invested a lot of money, nice 3,000 minutes in the passive income. How's it going, Sean? Let us know. I know you seem to be quite positive about it. I'm always a bit wary. That's going to go through. I've watched your video with Norm Rogers. Be interesting if you do more videos on SDK and what other tactics you do. Agreed. I do share. We've done a lot of videos within the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. Like, we've literally shown all our repricing rules and what we're doing. That's a big part of it. But I think it's not something we're doing right. Like we would do too publicly. Why? Because obviously, like, I think I share a lot of content, and I don't want to give everything that we do away and create lots of competition. Like, if people are willing to pay for it in the Seller Academy, we can teach them. I'll actually teach them my tricks and what we've learned. But I do believe, like, I'm just not going to give everything away for free, because all I'm doing is making more competition for myself. But yeah, Norm's an amazing guy, and obviously SDK is brilliant. So honestly, fantastic. Run away with Princess has joined. Fazzilla 10 has joined on Instagram, and Josh Warzy has joined as well. Hey, Josh, let me know if you guys have questions. I can see you on Instagram right here. I am answering your questions. Let's kind of go through massive action, our nature. In order to get 10K investment, what should I be offered as a return to investor? Well, if I put it in perspective of Amazon will offer about 13% ROI on it. So Amazon, if you took a 10K investment from Amazon, they would put 13% on top, divide it by the loan term, generally 9 to 12 months, and then ask you to repay that amount over that period. That's it. I think that would probably be a fair amount. Like if you can get it cheaper, fantastic. So as an ROI to an investor, 13%. So what's that? £1,300 or dollars, for example. Yeah, that'd be what I'd do. Guys, if you've got questions on Instagram, Facebook, do drop them down below. I am here to help. I'm going to do it. 1 second. Are there any special codes for those on this live to use for your VA service? There isn't, unfortunately. We don't really do special codes. Like, I've never done a discount on the VA service in 3 years. We've never discounted it ever. Like, no special offers, no nothing. And the reason why, like, we've never reduced that price, and the reason why we've never done it is because I believe at a fundamental level it's an amazing service, and I believe I would rather ask my customers to pay a little bit extra, or should I say not save so much with a discount, but have a much better level service. Why? Because at the end of the day, this person, a VA here, is going to make you money. Like, they make you money, they find you deals. I put it right now, I have 2 7-figure businesses. And I was talking about this morning on a podcast I was on. I was like, I have not sourced in years, like literally years. Like it's that bad. Like, I know how to source, I know what to do, but I don't source. And the interesting thing is that because and why? Because I have a team who do it for me, and I have people right now in my business who've worked with me for 4 years, maybe coming up to 5, and they make so much money. But like for my company, like incredible amounts. They've probably done one of them over the lifetime probably made me over $1 million in sales. But I'd rather spend that money that you're going to get on the discount on a great service, because you're going to keep coming back and you're going to know the value, rather than being like, oh, it was cheap, but it didn't really work. I don't really care too much about the price. I care about it works and that you have an amazing experience. And I hope that kind of makes sense. So I'd rather not give discounts. I'd rather build a better product, because then you're like, it made me so much money, I'm coming back. And by the way, read the reviews on Google, read the reviews on our Facebook, on our website. We have people coming back for like 3 VAs, 5 VAs, 8 VAs. We sold 110. We've had someone had 30 VAs off us. Like, it's incredible. Why? Because it works. Josh Wolsey has joined on Instagram. Speaking with Kat has joined on Instagram. Hey ho, and Anchi07 has joined on Instagram. Drop me a question if you've got any questions. Riza, is Google reverse sourcing using Keeper better than manual sourcing? It depends. Google reverse sourcing using Keeper, or maybe not using Keeper, you just do reverse sourcing in general, I reckon is better than any method you can do if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner on Amazon, I would be doing reverse sourcing all the time, probably storefront stalking as an element of that as well. Why? Because when you think about the kind of equation, is like you've got lots of suppliers, Walmart, Asda, whatever, and then you've got Amazon. Now, when you're ungated in everything, you've kind of got lots of opportunities of ASINs to sell and lots of suppliers to buy from. But when you're brand new, you don't really have many ASINs to sell. And the net result is this is really small. So you want to go find all those ASINs which you can sell and then go find the suppliers. And that works really, really well. So I think really, if you're starting out, you should do reverse sourcing. Storefront stalking would be the best way of doing it. I wouldn't do normal manual sourcing if I was a brand new beginner. That would be my kind of hack tip. But I do like it. I hope it makes sense. We've got a message from Tia over in Instagram. I can see if guys, if you're on Instagram, drop it out. I can see it right here. What if the VA decides to leave after a few months? So great question. So with us, we've done the analytics. We know it. Like, if your VA is going to leave, they're probably going to leave within the first few weeks, maybe the first or second month. That's it. That's why within the VA Academy 2.0, if your VA leaves within the first 3 months, you can either A, get a replacement if you want, we do unlimited replacements, or B, get your money back. And even if the VA doesn't leave and you're still not happy, we'll take the VA off you and give you your money back. So it's a no-brainer. Like, if you're going to go hire yourself, you've got all the training, the hiring, the interviewing, and then they could leave, and then you've got to start from square one again. Whereas if you go with us, it's a one-time fee and you get the guarantee behind it. Like, it's a no-brainer. We've done 550 VAs. We know what we're doing. Honestly, hence why I built these. You get to do my systems as well. And by the way, you get to take my systems and then put yours on top, and it becomes a super system because your system works as well. So do that. Massive action. Talking of Walmart, how much the price has gone up in the USA? Do you know? I don't really know. We really don't know. They haven't. Like, I don't. What do you mean by prices going up? What does that mean? What does prices going up mean? Like, it's a very interesting question. I think I've not really noticed anything. Like the only one that I do know is that FBA fees in Walmart, I think, have gone up 50% over Q4. That's the only one that I have seen. Not in Walmart, in Amazon, sorry. FBA fees in Amazon have gone up by 50% in Q4. That's a really important point. So I think for you, it's just, I haven't really seen prices go up. We've seen a lot of problems around stock. And let's put it this way, from retail suppliers to be able to get the stock and to ship it to our warehouses, they're running late. It'll be like, oh, hi, yeah, we don't have the item in stock at the moment, but we can get it to you for like the 14th of December. And in their world, 14th of December is fine because obviously they're thinking we need it for Christmas. So it should be normal, but we don't. We need it in our warehouse and shipped to Amazon by the 14th of December. So that's the problem. So yeah, we just don't see, we're not seeing like pricing issues. Sean said here, products in store increasing. Not really too sure like what you mean by that. Products in store, like prices of the products in store. Not really. Like, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Like price, Amazon's changing all the time, isn't it? Every 15 minutes we know that Amazon changes. So the suppliers change, but I don't think we see it too much. My team still do a really good job, like absolutely fine. I've got no worries about them, what they're doing. So I don't think we're seeing much of it. Hope that makes sense, Sean. Let me know down below. Guys, if you've got any questions, drop them down below. If you're on Instagram, I can see you. I'm right here, Instagram. Do let me know. And Taya, I think that's right. Let me know if that answers your question. Nomad has said, how do you trust your VA with a credit card? Really good point. So if I give you a perspective right now, let's give you a kind of analogy. In the USA, I have 2 staff members with credit cards. They're my purchasing managers. In the UK, I think we have 5, maybe 6, probably 5. I think 5 purchasing managers in the UK with credit cards. And then I have an ops manager. Lloyd has joined. Hey, Lloyd, if you're here, I can see you. Hey, Lloyd. In the US, we have 2 purchasing managers. In the UK, we have 5, I think it is. I have an ops manager in the UK who manages all those purchasing managers or purchasers, kind of. And he has a debit card. And then I have another ops manager in the Fast Track FBA who has another card. So there's lots of cards about, should we say, and some of them do have my personal credit card details. Also, there'd be company credit card details. And so we have a lot of exposure. And I think a couple of things I'd really recommend if you are thinking about like purchasing managers, what you're thinking of doing is, there's really 2 ways to look at this. Number one, you have what's known as like SOPs, rules, disciplinaries, the protection against if things go wrong. Like if this happens, then here's what's going to happen, and that needs to be there. Like if the card goes missing, or is there's like we have whole fraud procedures. Like we have had fraud on the account quite a few times, but we've always had a very good mechanism for detecting it and chasing it up again. But we have all those kind of procedures. So that's one, all those kind of detections. And if you want to know, Fast Track FBA YouTube channel, type in like, I lost 11,000 to fraud, or just type in fraud and you'll find a video. We kind of talk about one of the policies we have there. So we have an admin team. We also have checks and balances. So every day my purchasers are recording all the purchases they're making, and then my admin team are checking those purchases versus the bank statement, and even the 2-factor authentication emails that come through to say like what's going on. It's like we can see them. Now, the next one is, that's the kind of protection. Now, the next side that you're looking at is in regards to the kind of innate desire, motivation not to do something wrong. So this is the bit that really matters. Why? Because the protection is only as good as like it is, but if someone really wants to screw you over, they'll probably figure it out. But what you don't want is you don't ever want to fall back on that. That's like, if the first one fails, that's the backup. What you don't want to do is work on the backup all the time, because if that fails, you've got a problem. So the motivation is your key area. And in regards to around motivation, it's like, number one, you want them to really enjoy the working environment. Number two, they really care about the business and also you as a boss. Number three, where they're going on a personal individual level is probably aligned towards where the business is going. Number four, they're being paid well. Number five, they have great incentive schemes towards, should we say, profit related pay. So the idea is that if the business does well, they'll get paid more. Now, at the end of the day, of course, they want money. They'll probably be ethically against stealing money from you or doing it bad. But if you just leave £1 million on the table, then they might run away with it. And I'm not saying they're going to. People in the Philippines are generally really good. But the idea is that, but if you have it whereby the most they can ever take is like, let's call it 10,000, but they might earn, a couple of hundred to 1,000 a month in bonuses. Well, they're like, well, it's not worth it. Like, it's a one-time risk that I'll never ever work to anyone again. Or I can keep earning some really good money every month and keep earning that. And you'd be like, so I'd much rather say keep earning that, that good money. So again, you've got the fallback that's going to protect you, but then you've also got the ability whereby it's the motivation, desire to say we want to keep, we want this VA to do a really good job. And they want to do a good job. Like if someone breaks into the house, the first thing they do is grab the credit card details and eat them. That's what you're looking for. Nomadism, let me know if that answers your question down below. And by the way, we do a lot more detail of this within the VA Academy, supporting you, and especially in the Seller Academy. We have a whole kind of purchasing manager course where literally we go through all our, and the admin course where we go through all the SOPs around transaction credit, credit reports and protection security. It's a really big point, but it's a really valid point. And then to put it in perspective, I think across both businesses, we're probably spending 120,000 a week in US, probably like £100,000 a week across both businesses, not including Fast Track FBA. I don't know what we would spend there. But that's just on stock, it'd be 100,000 to 120,000 a week on stock. And I'm not buying any of it, it's all my staff doing it. So really, really good question. And we do trust them because otherwise the business wouldn't happen. And the way the other way I always think about these questions, by the way, is somehow someone else is able to do it. So it's not that it's not possible, it's just that it's right now, I don't know how to do it. And your thing is how do you trust? My question is, you could reframe that as what processes can I put in place to ensure reasonable to great security around my credit cards? If you reframe the question, it can be really, really powerful. Tony Robbins talks about it as change your question, change your life. Really, really believe in that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got any more questions, drop them down below. If you're on Instagram, I can see Mr. Lloyd Jones has joined. Hey, Mr. Lloyd Jones, how are you getting on? Let me know if you are here or what's going on. If you've got any questions. What else did I see? Yeah, honestly, let me know your questions. The one thing I will share, by the way, what's it called? Someone asked me earlier on. I'll give you a little update on my sales if anyone wants to know. We're kind of okay. We're at 9K for the weekday. 9K for the day. It's steady. We're technically down on last year. I know. I'm such a part-time Amazon. I should probably start sourcing, shouldn't I? 9K. We're on 65. Someone's like, "Is it real?" No, it's completely fake. There we go. Really fake. So yeah, let me know if you guys got any questions. Drop them down below. I'm here to help you. I appreciate it's Friday. Everyone's like, I want to go down the pub. I want to relax. But for me, I've got some coffee. I'm relaxing. And by the way, if I just talk you through this week, actually, I'll give you an update on my team. Where are you looking? Let's try to load it up. Amazon. Let's give you some stats because I haven't actually done this. This week, Amazon USA. Okay, so Amazon USA, we had a $27,700 budget. They spent, how much did they spend? I'm just getting this right. They didn't spend it all. They spent 23,400 roughly. Estimated ROI is going to be about 34.5%. That's their thing. Cashback wise, not huge. $404. Not huge. I'm not saying that, but they did spend $34,000. So the one thing which I will say about that is the team's doing well, but I am quite interested in the fact that they are, what do they call it? That they are spending that money, but they haven't spent out. So we're going to see what's going on there. But the ROI is okay, 34.4. Previously, we've been running about 50%. So maybe it's a bit more challenging. So USA business, good result. We've got a lot of cash left. USA business, they spent £70,000, 70,780. Estimated ROI 24.4. I think we'll probably convert around about 20%. Not huge. £1,300 cashback. That's quite nice. You could live off £1,300 cash back in a week. That's quite a sexy amount. Total available to spend. This is left at the end of the week, by the way. We just took an Amazon loan, £120,000. So we've still got 120,000 left to spend in my business. So honestly, really, really busy. Guys, if you've got any more questions and you want to ask them, please, please, please drop them down below. Otherwise, I'm going to drink my coffee and obviously finish up for the day and maybe do something else. I don't know what I'll be doing. But if you guys have got any more questions, do drop them down below. I will share some things about what's going on in my business. But I think for you is let me know what's going on. And if there's any questions I can answer for you, fantastic. Otherwise, obviously, it's Friday. Go down, have some drinks, enjoy yourself, relax. I'll go spend some time with my girlfriend later on. But obviously, I'm really happy with the business right now. We're going. It's been a challenging week. Last week, we didn't even make our direct debit in the UK bounce. We missed £150,000 worth of spend, or should we say £150,000 credit card bill. That's absolutely crazy. Hi, Sir Tom, sir. Hi, Himson. So good to see you. And nomadism, what you said here, how much work is it to manage your VAs? How many hours do you have to dedicate to this? If you want to be honest, and you're going to hate me, you're really going to hate me. These two companies here, these two, 2 hours a week. Like, honestly, hand on heart, 2 hours a week. I won't lie, I'm doing a little bit more than that, and I'll explain why in a minute. So what do I mean by 2 hours a week? Well, I do Sunday, 7 p.m. my time, Mexico City, which is the UK, like a couple of early in the morning. I have a call with my admin team, and we go through a process of whereby we cash out all the money, we do our balance sheets, we know exactly our available cash flow for the week, and then we have a chance to answer any questions. That takes 1 hour, and we finish pretty, we always finish either early or on time, never overrun. I'm a big believer in that. So very on point. That's my admin team, 1 hour a week, and that's all the finances, operationally. They need to move money, pay off credit cards, do what needs to do, pay bills, etc. And then that's the finance, and then the other one's the operations. So I have one manager who manages both of these two businesses, these two here. And so under each business, I'll give you an idea of the org structure. Under each business, they have a purchasing manager. So you have me, my ops manager, then you have a purchasing manager of each business, and really the purchasing manager is the manager for that individual business unit. So one for the UK, one for the USA. Now under those, they'll have more purchasers called purchasing assistants, and then under them they'll have teams of sourcers, and then alongside that will be the admin team as well. The admin team don't report to me; they report to the purchasing managers. But obviously, I have a call with them. I work with them sometimes because I need to do the cash flow. And then really my ops manager, I have a call once a week. It's on a Monday morning. I think it's about 8 a.m. my time here. So it's pretty early in the morning. I'm up at 5 on a Monday, like crazy. And I have a marketing meeting, then I have a fast track FBA meeting, and then I finally have my Amazon 1 hour meeting. And we literally just go through, what do we go through? We go through good news. We go through what's happening in the business in regards to last week. What did we say we were going to do, and have we done it? Number three, we'll then go through all our reports. We have the specific reports that we're tracking or numbers that we track. And then finally, we define the metric, or we define the things that we want to focus on this week, or really I want my ops manager to focus on. And then we wrap it up and then share out, what needs to happen. And that's it. And generally, like, my job will just be like money related stuff, whereas that's it. So it's just 2 hours a week. Now, I did say earlier on I'm doing more than that, and the reason is because right now I'm doing some work around repricing. I noticed it's an area that I think we can do a strategic improvement in. So repricing rules, repricing optimization, do some analysis around it, build out some better reporting. So I just spent, it's about 5 hours a week for about 4 weeks. I just built a project out and said, okay, we're going to define some measures to improve. We're going to define some process improvement with our repricing analyst who's new. And then I'm just going to spend some quality time with them. Number one, building out reporting. Number two, building out the SOPs in regards to the process. And then number three, watching the reports come in and tweaking the SOPs to make sure we can do it. So I hope that's it. Yeah, so for 2 hours a week. Julie Effer on Instagram is, how do you deal with unfillable customer returns? We were two things. We'll either burn them in Amazon, or we will get them returned back to our warehouse, and they'll either resell them for us or reinvestigate them, repackage them, or do whatever. Sometimes we ship it to another place and they'll just sell it for us. But that's it. There's not really much you can do about it. Hope it makes sense. Turtle Bay said, how much did you earn in your first year? Well, if you're watching this live, I said at the very beginning, I lost about £15,000. So I didn't earn anything. Well, I did. I paid myself money. I paid myself about 12,000, which I think is the minimum you can pay yourself. Like lower earnings limit in the UK, £12,000. But my company made a net loss of 15,000 in that first year, which wasn't good. And again, because we had too many VAs. I didn't really know the numbers to track. I wasn't doing a good job on it. And when you start any business, you're going to get things wrong. Like now we do this one, 3 million. It's about 5% net, so it's like 150,000 a year. It's not huge. You can do better, but again, I use other people's money, I use other people's time. I have a lot more costs, and also as well, I overstaff. And the reason why I overstaff is because I really don't want to go back to doing it. Like, I really enjoy taking less money and not having to worry about, like, oh, if my purchasing manager's off sick, I have to go buy stuff. Like, that's why I have like 5 purchasers in this thing and an ops manager. I probably don't need an ops manager at all, but like, he just deals with all the stuff that the purchasing managers don't need to worry about. So he'll like finding new warehouses, signing documents, VAT returns, like does all that, checking them. If there's problems, I can ask him to go, and he's my senior manager, so he can do that. So these two businesses run. So this one's about 5%, this one's about 10%. So 100,000, so like $250,000 across those two. I don't deny I invest a lot of it back into the businesses. If you say I spend a lot of it on other stuff, like Tony Robbins coaching I do, that's not cheap, 10,000 a year. I've been on a lot of really expensive events. I do a lot of nice traveling. A lot of it is paid for on points, but also we do some other cool stuff as well. But unfortunately, my first year, I lost money. So I don't claim to be particularly amazing, but I've been on a long journey, should we say? And it's been an eye-opening journey. I've learned a lot about myself, but also I've met some amazing people, and I love that. And obviously, I'm really happy because I share that with people within the Seller Academy, and like the processes we've learned, and also like where we've gone wrong. Like, for my God, I've messed up so many times. Like, but I share that, and it's really nice to help other people. Just like at the very beginning of this call, I said, turn your camera on. If you're having a call with your VAs, VA Academy 2.0, I'm like, cameras on, people, cameras on. And then someone today literally said, I tried it and it was amazing. I can't believe how much better it was. So I think it was hopeful. Total Bliss says, no, don't tell me that. Look, don't get me wrong. Like, if you want to start off in this business, and you want to go to onlinejobs.ph and you want to hire 5 people to be your virtual assistants and ask them to do the business for you, which, by the way, we probably get asked once a week from people to do for us. I promise you'll probably lose money. Like 99% of the time, you're going to lose money. But if you're willing to start this business, keep your costs low, kind of figure out how it works, make sure you're getting the process right, and then maybe invest in your business a bit more with some of that money, maybe take on, some people do debt. I did it all at the beginning, but like, some people do on credit cards straight away, VA straight away, and it's not right. Like, you should really get yourself profitable, you know what you're doing, then build a team. I did it the wrong way. I was making profit myself, but I didn't really understand the real measures of it. And that's why we built the VA Academy 2.0, because we really understand what builds a great business. We do it time and time again. We know the exact measures. We can literally tell you, is this VA? The one question that I had when I first started was like, I've got these 3 VAs. Do they actually add any money to my business? And like, I couldn't tell you. Like, it was a question I wanted the answer, but I just couldn't tell you. And because I couldn't tell you the answer to that question, I didn't know. And I went on a journey finding out. And when I found out, I was like literally, like, I realized all my VAs were losing me money. Like, once we deal with bad returns, once we deal with the age of inventory and the stuff, is such a nightmare. Arbitrage, really good question, but like, this is why people come to us, because we know what we're doing, because I've already gone through that pain, and we share that thing. So just be mindful. This is all arbitrage, by the way. Which is better? I can't tell you. I don't know the answer. I really don't know the answer. Let's kind of jump through to final questions, people. Wrap up final questions if you are here. I'm going to answer the Instagram questions, and then I'll jump back over to YouTube/Facebook, etc., etc. Do drop your questions down below. So Ricky, hi Thomas. Question about sending shipments to Amazon. What's the fastest way to get products to Amazon? It's got to be Amazon's own fulfillment. You've got to do it through, I think it's UPS or Amazon delivery. So if you're thinking, like, I think in the UK you have to do it through them, but I think also in the USA, like in the USA you can have the option to use other fulfillment partners, but like they're all slower. Like, I've seen it time and time again. If you use, it might be cheaper, but they're slower. If you want fast, you have to do Amazon's preferred fulfillment. It might cost you a bit more, but you get it in fast. That's the most important point. Elitz, Ricky, great question, 1994. Just want to say thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, any final questions before I finish? I'm going to drink some coffee. If you don't get it down quickly, before I finish my coffee, I will finish. 2 seconds. Oh, I love coffee. Absolutely love coffee. Right, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Time has come, end of the hour. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. Hit the like button, give me a love heart. The weekend is here. Go hit the pub, watch the World Cup, and have fun, people. Honestly, enjoy it. Remember, right now is the best time to make money, Q4. And Mr. Clapson said, do you ever fear a VA mutiny? Not at all. Like, I understand my staff. I'm going to the Philippines to meet them in February. I don't fear it at all. Like, I think they'll probably be super excited to come meet me, and I'm excited to come meet them as well. Like, I think we have a great culture in the company. I spend all my time building culture. That's it. I think people really enjoy working for us. It's a great environment, and we develop them and we push them. It's hard. I never deny that, but my God, it's fun. We get rewarded, we get recognized, and we learn a lot. And I think my team love it. So do I fear a mutiny? Hell no, absolutely not. Like, we have too high standards to allow that to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like heart, hit the thumb, give me some 100%, some fire, some love hearts, whatever you're doing. I just want to say a really big thank you to all of you. I will see you back next week. Stay safe, people. Bye. coffee.